Casual sex is for guys who don't want to be in a monogamous relationship. I mean, it's just like even beyond fuck buddies. If you're friends with benefits with a woman, but you're trying to make her monogamous to you, how does that even work? That ain't friends with benefits no more. That ain't friends with benefits no more. If you know, like a lot of young guys say they prefer the friends with benefits arrangement more so than the fuck buddy arrangement. Well, you're friends with benefits with a woman, but you very much want her to be monogamous to you, then that ain't really friends with benefits. That ain't really friends with benefits. In informal terms, what a lot of these guys want, man, they want one-sided polyamory, man. Again, if you're upfront and straightforward about that, you gotta learn to encourage respect. If you lie to women to achieve that goal, you're a punk. I'll tell you that. Give me a Skype address, give me a number. I swear to God, I'll tell you, you're a punk. You ain't got no balls, you ain't got no backbone. You're a punk. You're verbal coward. That's what verbal coward is. It's a punk. You're a punk. All right, thank you for all the super chats I received today. Let me see if I look and see if I missed any. Oh, I did. They don't. Worst thing you do is force one. Yep. And a lot of guys, I ain't gonna just pick on young guys in that category. There's some guys my age who have had to learn that hard lesson, man. You can't force any. You can't, and that goes for women too. I don't want to be one-sided. And so I'm telling men, I tell any women listening, you don't try to force your man to be monogamous. I'm telling you. Yeah, it's gonna backfire. I am not a fan of obligatory monogamy. Anytime you try to force somebody to be monogamous, I'm telling you, in the long run, that's just gonna backfire. Trust me. It's getting dark in here. I'm gonna go. I thank you for joining me for this very, very unexpected, spontaneous live stream. Love and respect to you all, and I am out.
Yes, sir.
Say it again.
Yes, sir.
Who's the king?
Alan, you're the king.
Say it again.
Alan, you're the king. You're dominating me.
Say it again.
Alan, you're dominating me right now. Mo.
That's just unmanly, man.
This, you want to come to my house?
Nah, I'm good.
Wrong answer.
Alright.
Kaboom.
Oh, what you doing after this? You want to come to my house?
Nah, I'm good.
Wrong answer.
Alright.
Kaboom.
There are sociopaths in this world who will embarrass, manipulate, and even physically hurt you to get what they want. And because their brains don't work like most people's, it can be tough to see it coming until it's too late. So in this video, we're going to help you better understand the mind of a sociopath. Then we'll go over 5 subtle signs to help you tell if someone is a sociopath. While no single trait means anything definitive, if you see these all together, it can be a red flag. When it comes to the mainstream media, the most heavily emphasized trait of sociopaths is in their lack of empathy. Simply put, they do not relate to other people's pain or sadness. Maybe if I don't blink, my eyes will tear up. While it's often used for laughs on TV, you may not realize that this lack of empathy has a scary consequence. Sociopaths have a strong internal urge to manipulate you. To understand why, here's a thought exercise. Think about your own life and something you want. Maybe it's a promotion at work, or something someone else owns, or even wanting to have sex with someone. Now imagine what you would do to get that thing if your brain could not feel guilt, if you didn't care about hurting other people to get what you want. Listen to these 2 diagnosed sociopaths talk about that instinct to manipulate.
I am quite manipulative naturally. It's just really, really built in, and I have to have those instincts. Otherwise, I don't get the outcomes that I want.
Because if I encounter a certain kind of person, and if I'm talking to you and I sense a level of weakness, I get kind of the urge to prey upon that. If I have something that I want to get, then I'm gonna do my best to get it.
Not every sociopath is a bad person, but that instinct to manipulate is why it can be important to know if you're talking to a sociopath. Sociopaths today are even considered to be on the same spectrum as psychopaths, and it's not as uncommon as you may think. According to the Journal of Clinical Psychiatry, 1 in 30 people are said to have these antisocial personality disorders. So if your school or your place of work has more than 30 people in it, you may be interacting with a sociopath or psychopath without even realizing it. The first potential sign that you've met a sociopath is a strange one, because meeting a sociopath doesn't come with some gut sense of dread. Often, it's the opposite. Their first impressions can feel too good to be true. This is because they have no boundaries as to how much they will fake about themselves to win you over. Listen to this man describe how he would get close to people in order to use them.
I'll speak to someone. I won't really tell them much about me. They'll tell me about them, and then once they tell me about them, I'll kind of form a personality. I'll exaggerate certain features about my own personality to match what it is that they're looking to see.
Now, a lot of people do this to a small degree when meeting new people. They'll pretend to be more interested in the things they say or laugh at jokes that aren't particularly funny. But sociopaths and psychopaths take this to a level far beyond where most neurotypical people would be comfortable. Here's a more vile example from a serial pedophile with ASPD. He's talking about how he would earn people's trust so that he could take advantage of them.
The best way to fool people is to help them. Is to ask what they want, ask what they need. Do they need any help doing anything? Do they need any money? Or do they need their car fixed? Do they need the grass cut? Do they need their children looked out for?
So if you walk away from a first encounter feeling completely enamored with a person, you may have just experienced the fake charm of a sociopath. Of course, not everyone you feel an immediate special connection with is a sociopath. Some people just have likable, charismatic habits and make good first impressions. So don't let that on its own be a red flag. If you have this feels too good to be true experience, and you aren't sure what it means, then keep an eye out for the next sociopath clue, the sociopath stare. Since sociopaths feel shallow emotions at best, they don't get nervous around people. This means they don't feel compelled to break eye contact like most people do. Listen to Kanika explain it here.
I don't break eye contact very often. I have to physically teach myself to blink more often, which is really weird. Yeah, to stop staring at people. It freaks them out.
Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes was infamous for going 10 seconds between blinks.
Every time you create something new, there should be questions. And to me, that's a sign that you've actually done something that is transformative.
In general, strong eye contact is a sign of confidence. But if someone is engaging in 10-second bouts of unblinking eye contact with you, take note. It could be a red flag. Now, let's say this person isn't a stranger, but someone you already know well, a classmate, a work colleague, or even a friend. If you've managed to get into a relationship with a possible sociopath, you may want to ask yourself this question. Do I do more favors for them than I do for most people? Because of their instinct for manipulating people, sociopaths can end up getting more favors from you than anyone else. They'll do this by starting small before working their way up to bigger asks. They'll also lie to you and use your own empathy against you.
I would tell her, oh, my dog, he got rushed to the hospital last night. We were there late until about 3 a.m. and there was this problem and that problem and that problem. I don't even have a dog.
You might think you would know if someone was lying to you, but sociopath lies often go unnoticed for 2 reasons. First, sociopaths are extremely comfortable lying. They don't have the normal tells like fidgeting, a hard swallow, or trouble holding eye contact while lying. Second, unlike the small white lies most people are comfortable telling, sociopath lies are way more detailed and grandiose, and sociopaths are much more comfortable doubling down on a lie when caught. So much so, it's hard for a neurotypical person to detect a lie, because you end up thinking, this can't possibly be a lie, because no normal person would lie this way. Jodi Arias is a good example of this. Watch the various stories she spun up after her ex-boyfriend was found murdered at his home.
Absolutely not. Nowhere near Mesa. Nowhere near Phoenix. I witnessed Travis being attacked by 2 other individuals.
Who?
I don't know who they were. I couldn't pick them out in a police lineup.
So what happened?
I'm not proud that I just left my friend there to be slaughtered at the hands of 2 other people. I'm not proud of that at all.
I didn't need to shoot him or anything.
This is an extreme example, but it goes to show how someone with ASPD is much more comfortable following up a lie with another lie and feeling no shame or guilt about doubling down on their lie or creating an elaborate fake story. Diane Downs, who murdered her own daughter, even tried to use the elaborate nature of her lie to prove she wasn't lying.
I wouldn't walk in there and say, this weird person came up out of nowhere and shot us for no reason and just left. I mean, that's not a believable story. If I had done this, I could have come up with a believable story.
Now, it's worth repeating, most sociopaths aren't murderers. Many people with ASPD don't even know they have it, and they live mostly normal lives. But you can see why it would be so hard to spot a sociopath was lying if they were someone close to you. Finally, the last sign that you're dealing with a sociopath is that their emotional responses seem off. For instance, because sociopaths don't have a natural empathy, any condolences they share will be learned and potentially robotic.
What I'll have to do is I'll have to logically understand that, okay, this is an event that people typically get sad at, so I would have to find words of confidence to give them. I'm sorry that happened to you. I know that must be hard. Is there anything I could do? Would you like to talk?
Sometimes it's those moments where a sociopath tries to fake empathy that they will accidentally reveal their lack of it. This is actually one of the areas that the show Dexter does a good job of highlighting. The writers make sure he occasionally mishandles reacting to bad news.
I'm having intimate relations with a winner.
Congratulations.
Paul's dead.
Oh? Another emotional response to look out for is a lack of guilt after hurting you.
Did you always understand the negative effect manipulation can have on others?
No. I didn't always understand why people had an adverse reaction to it, because in a way I kind of looked at it like a game, and you lost.
One particular phrase to look out for is, why are you so upset? As a one-off, it doesn't mean anything, but if this is something you hear repeatedly, it may be a clue that the person you're with struggles with empathy. If you're dating a sociopath, this question can also be a lead-in to more dangerous behaviors like invalidating your feelings and gaslighting you. Because a sociopath lacks empathy, they are going to have a very strong frame when they say things like, it's not a big deal, I don't know why you're so upset, you're overreacting. This is why it's important to maintain strong relationships outside of your significant other, so you have people you trust that can reorient you. Because it is very hard to be in a one-on-one frame game with a sociopath. There is one thing most people misunderstand about sociopaths and their emotions. While a sociopath's expressions of empathy or sadness will be muted, their anger response is actually heightened. This is one of the biggest differences between a sociopath and a psychopath. Psychopaths tend to be more universally detached. They have all their emotions under control. But sociopaths are often impulsive and actually quick to anger. And when they do get angry, the level of anger they feel and express often seems extreme. So a sociopath is likely to lash out in anger. This may relate to the different causes of sociopathy and psychopathy. The current belief is that psychopaths are born. It's in their genetic material. But sociopaths are created, specifically through trauma. Now, it's worth noting that all of these things occur on a spectrum. Sometimes when you're asked why you're so upset, it's because your reaction really is above how most people would react. It's worth repeating. No one sign from this video indicates someone has antisocial personality disorder. Any real ASPD diagnosis would have to come from a trained professional. This video isn't meant to arm you to go out into the world and try to diagnose people. But hopefully, you feel like you've learned more about the mind of a sociopath, and little red flags will pop up next time one does try to manipulate you. And with that conclusion, I'd like to thank our sponsor for this video, Audible. Audible is offering everyone who watches this video a free audiobook. If you enjoyed this video and you like learning
This one I wanted to talk about. This is Love Me or I'll End You. This is not the photo of the girl that was actually in this situation, because I tried to make a thumbnail out of her and it didn't turn out real well. But when you have a society that has different rules for members of its citizenry based on their immutable characteristics, male, female, black, white, Asian, whatever, when you have different rules for those people, you will have a society that falls apart because the rules aren't fair. Imagine sitting down and playing a game of, I don't know, Uno or Monopoly or whatever board game you like, and the rules keep changing depending on what color player you are. So let's say you sit down and there's 4 game tokens, red, blue, green, yellow. And whoever's the blue token gets an additional 50% everything. And whoever gets the yellow token gets penalized at minus 20% everything. What happens when it's time to play the game and you blindly close your eyes, pick up a piece, and you find out that you're yellow? And everybody else has a 20% advantage on you, except for the blue, he's got a 70% advantage on you. You're going to say, I don't even want to play. I don't even want to play this game anymore. Before you've even started. Well, what they're doing today, and when I say they, I mean the law, the government, media, everybody else, what they're saying is, as a man, you're minus 20. Women, they get all the bonuses. Even though women are out-graduating college, they're getting many, many more advantages when it comes to getting scholarships or loans. They're getting hired at a higher rate. Women, advantage. Minority woman, advantage. A transitioned minority woman, advantage, advantage, advantage. Male, disadvantage. Oh, let's say person of color, man of color, or different ethnicity, disadvantage. Caucasian male, great disadvantage. Like, we're starting to see this play out. Now, not in all things. I'm not saying in all things. But we're seeing this play out now in various forms. And what it does is, you can have your arguments saying, you know something, we need to fix certain systems because there are people that have a disadvantage. Hey, okay, we'll...
Yes, guys, welcome back to another episode of When She Belongs to the Streets. As always, let's get straight into it.
Today I posted my Cash App name and my oil change receipt. It was $500. Expensive, but that's not the point. So, someone sent me $500, I posted it, and somebody sent me $1,000, and I posted it. So normalize sending the woman that you're interested in money, and if another man is sending her money, make it a Cash App competition.
She just needs to stop. Someone needs to tell her to...
To get sex with a guy, man, it's hard. It's hard to get sex than it is to find love. I swear to God. Women hold that. You gotta be smooth to get, I'm telling you, to get through that, because women are like the beef eaters from England. To get sex with a guy, man, it's hard. It's hard to get sex than it is to find love. I swear to God. Women hold that. You gotta be smooth to get, I'm telling you, to get through that, because women are like the beef eaters from England with big hats, and them dudes be, who goes there? You trying to like charm your way into the palace, and you just be like, tickle, tickle, baby, tickle, tickle. She's just, you're not gonna get through. Oh, come on. And that's skill. Women you don't have it because you don't need it. You don't have to have swagger to get something now. You don't. You can just point at it. You can look at a guy, right, catch his eye, and go like this, and go me, and you just point right here. And don't be sexy. Don't be like, ooh, just. And he'll look around for a minute to make sure it ain't a trick, like. Monsters is giving up pussy, man. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna say no.
You know one white ally that goes unsung, in my opinion, is evil white actors in civil rights movies. These are unsung heroes of the movement. Because here's the thing, if you're gonna have a black struggle movie and you're gonna tell the truth, that means you have to show some heinous shit happening. And to show heinous shit happening, that means you need white actors being motherfucking terrible on camera. You gotta have it. And I've met some of these white actors. These are good, normal-ass white boys. They gotta walk on set all nice and then just turn on the racism. You know what kind of pressure they are? You gotta walk on set saying nigga for 12 hours. You gotta eat lunch by yourself. Nobody talks to you. You gotta walk on set all chipper and shit. Hey, good morning, how you doing? Hey, guys. Hey, director, good to see you. Hey, Denzel, good to see you too. We ready? And action. You are nigga. Is that okay? You gotta go again? Oh, my God. I'm sorry, Denzel, we gotta go again. I don't want that. You gonna tell the history of my people the right way. Every now and then you need a white actor being a heinous motherfucker on that camera. You telling me Leo DiCaprio didn't kill it in Django Unchained? Leonardo DiCaprio transformed in that movie. That's one of the bravest white allies I ever seen in my life. Turned into an evil ass enslaver. Called Jamie Foxx a nigga to his face. To his face. Not an empty chair, but like they did CGI Jamie Foxx later. Jamie Foxx was in that room and Leo was right there, grabbing Kerry Washington and shit by the hair. Just being disrespectful. Fucking put 10 toes in the ground and called fucking Jamie Foxx a nigga to his face in front of Samuel L. Jackson. Bravery. And all they do, they let us say, oh, Tom Cruise does his own stunts. Well, so does Leonardo DiCaprio. That's a wild stunt. Right next to Samuel L. Jackson. Look Jamie Foxx dead in the face. You said you were willing to pay an exorbitant amount of money for what you consider to be the right nigga. Well, it seems to me this lady right here is indeed the right nigga. Same dude from Titanic, y'all. You just gotta respect that transformation. This dude went from Titanic to enslaver. Near, far, wherever you are, nigga. After Django, this is what a sacrifice Leonardo DiCaprio made. After Django Unchained in 2012, it was almost 10 years before he did another scene with a black co-star. That's how I'm not calling the man racist. He's done movies with every minority you can. He did a movie with a bat. He's a solid dude. But he knew when he made that movie. Once you call Jamie Foxx and Kerry Washington nigga in front of Samuel L. Jackson, you got to lay low for a decade. And that's sacrifice. If anybody know Leo, tell him he can come home. Tell him it's time.
Thank you. I'm thanking one in particular, playing titties in the front row. Thank you so much. Thank you, audience coordinator, for putting those titties up in the front row. God bless you. Don't distract me. I was supposed to go, yeah. Oh, y'all here? Yeah? Huh? You look lovely, though, by the way. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Congratulations, my friend. I'm glad y'all here. It's very good. Yo, congratulations to you, my friend. Look at that white woman you're with. God damn. That nigga behind you going, yeah, son, I'm with my girl, but yo, for real? That white woman's amazing. Didn't she tell the truth? He's with his black girl for like, no, I don't know, but she's high level. That's a high level white woman right there. That white woman that is man, oh man, oh man. Black women get mad at that, but that is top shelf white woman right there. You know how you can tell how pretty a white woman is? The value, you look at her, and then you wonder how long they would look for if she was missing. Come on, take a look, take a look. Look at that nigga, look. I saw you look mad sweet. How long if he was missing? How long you think they were? How long you think they were? Exactly. She went. You know the deal. I ain't saying nothing wrong. White woman's life is valuable. What's his name? Joran Vandersloot, right? We find out he was a serial killer. Man, he kills women. That's what he do. He do it well. You know what I mean? We know the girl that he you know, supposedly had. What's the girl in Aruba? Natalie Holloway, right? But the one he just killed the girl in Peru. What's her name? Exactly. Look how bad she said that. You said Natalie Holloway, that angel. Y'all said that like Family Feud. All right, name a white girl been missing for 5 years. Roof. Natalie Holloway. Survey son. Name a Peruvian girl that was killed yesterday. What is that big-headed third world Peruvian bitch's name? It has to be Yordis or something goofy. Don't get mad at yourself. I gave it to you. You saw how fast she said Natalie Holloway. Diane Ross right here said she knew her name. That white girl, Natalie Holloway. Man, you called yourself, woo! God bless you, man. That is high level right there. Don't be ashamed of it, gorgeous. She mad as hell. What that white bitch? Wait, you know, come on. Ain't nobody looking for you. I might look for you, but the news ain't. You think Fox is reporting you missing? Let's be honest. Nancy Grace, she leads story on Nancy Grace for the next 6 months. Oh, look at her, she's mad as hell. I don't like that shit, but it is what it is. Let's be like that. Let's be honest. That little girl that went missing, she was sailing. Little girl went, I forgot her name, but she went sailing and went missing in the Indian Ocean, okay? And they spent, good Lord, her mast broke and she was floating around, and she gave out her little signal or beacon. They spent $500,000 like tax money to search for her. Now, if that's my daughter, I want that to happen too, but if you go sailing, let's be honest, how long do you think? Are they gonna spend 5? Come on. Remember football players in Miami went missing? They went sailing. They looked for them for 8 minutes. Maybe. They just sent somebody at the edge of the beach. I don't see him. We have to call off the search because there's too much sun. The conditions are abnormally difficult. If I go sailing, I'm taking a white baby on a keychain with me. If my boat go down, they're gonna find me. I'm gonna have it hooked right to the side of my belt. And I'm gonna dress the baby real white too. I'm gonna put sweatpants on it and a pair of Ugg boots, and I'm gonna take a picture. And look at this white baby. You don't come get me. This white baby going down with me. I hate how much fun black people can have racially, man. It's just, I can say anything I goddamn want racially. And why do you got to sit there and take it? No, I am evil. Yes. It's like, come on, man. I don't even say it because of that. Like, I love a little racial. Look, man, you know, let's be fair. I mean, honestly, be nicer with the racial game. I mean, I like to talk to white people about being honest about Obama. You gave it a shot. You did. You gave it a 2-year shot. Like, oh yeah, I tried to. We tried to. But if you're not, it fell apart. It really didn't. I'm gonna tell you something you don't know about black folks. We would be on your side. Than talking white people. We'll be on your side a lot more if you would, just not ever talk about how you feel about anything racial. We'll catch up to you. Now, serious, because